Alright, what's up everyone? And in this video I'm going to be talking to you about sexism in the martial arts. I feel like this issue needs to be talked about because it's obviously an issue that's just not addressed. Um, it's not talked about and whatnot, so I feel like we needed to call it out as it is. Um, Sexism exists in the martial arts. Let's stop kidding ourselves. It's an issue that just needs to die, you know. Um, so how does sexism affect people in the martial arts? Well, it's clear that men and women are treated differently. For example, men claim that women can't train in the same things because of their size and strength, and like boxing, for example. I hear men discourage women from doing boxing because it's not what they do, uh, the woman is she's weaker than the man, she can't beat a man, um, things of that sort. And or wrestling, for example, you know they'll tell her what she can't do and what she can do, and it's just ridiculous, and they'll be like, oh well, you need to learn Wing Chun because that was developed by women and whatnot. uh, you know So it's clearly sexist when they do that, when they assume that a man is always stronger. And you know, I'll get into the more technical stuff some other time, but it's not true. Women can do the same things that men can do. I've seen women outbox men. You know, they outs. They uh, I've seen, like, if you go on YouTube, you might find women who are quick to submit guys and ground fighting and grappling and stuff like that. Like the case of the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu girl who beat up a Marine in an MMA fight. It was a sparring match. She was only 17. He was a grown man. She got him in a chokehold, and that was it. He tapped out. So it's clear that women, although they might be weaker than the man physically, it doesn't mean that they can't beat a man in spite of their differences. And I think that guys, they just don't want to admit that because they're afraid of getting their egos crushed. And, they're afraid of what other guys think of them. They're afraid of getting bashed and criticized and things of that sort. And it's lame, you know. Putting down women is lame. That's weak. That's what weaklings do. Um, Other issue I have with it: women are expected to do groin strikes, whereas men are expected to, quote, fight like men. Like, it's stupid. Like, look at YouTube videos of men, doing groin strikes, and compare it to the women doing groin strikes. 9 times out of 10, you'll see more women doing it, fighting dirty, being taught how to fight dirty, than men. Um, look at women's self-defense. You'll see them doing knees to the groin and whatnot. You rarely see men do that for some stupid reason, because dignity or whatever. It's clearly an issue because basically the message they're sending is that women are too weak to strike and go head to head with guys in hand to hand combat, and so they have to resort to low blows and all this stuff, and the men don't. So, another example of sexism. Um, and the other issue is that women are not represented in the martial arts. By that I mean they're not fully, there's not that many women in the martial arts compared to the men. It's mostly guys running everything. And so when the woman comes in to martial arts, she doesn't really know how to deal with all the guys there, and she might get shunned or treated badly. Who knows? Um, I've heard a bunch of cases where the women are treated differently. Like the men will go easy on them because they're women and whatnot, and that's sexism. I remember doing this class. Um, these classes, and pretty much the instructor was telling the guys to go easy on the girls and whatnot, and it's stupid. It's it's uh it's just a way to control women, really, and we just need to encourage women to join. And the women who are already in the martial arts, they're not really that popular compared to the men. Like look at, and even if they are, they're trashed on. Like look at Ronda Rousey. As soon as she lost, um, people were hating on her, and they claim that it's because of arrogance and whatnot and all this stuff, and that's not really what it is. The real reason why fans hate on her is because she's a woman and she represented women's empowerment. You know, when a guy does the exact same thing, they look the other way. That's how you know that when they claim, oh, it's because she was cocky, it's because she looked at Holly Holm the wrong way. That's not true, because of the sexism they have. They're not saying anything about Conor McGregor when he attacked people, or some incident involving a bus and whatnot, or he was cussing everybody out. They're not saying anything about that. Um, so yeah, so it's really just a way to bring down women, um, and pretty much discourage them from joining. And another reason, this is the problem with women's self defense that I have, is that they try to like dumb women down so much to a point where it's like it's not healthy. It's not good to keep women in separate areas. That's what they do. That's why I don't like women's self defense, because it segregates women from the rest of the guys. It's basically sending the message that women can't compete on the same level as guys. They can't things that guys. So I feel like we need to break those barriers, and you'll hear stuff like uh, when they tell women, "Oh, don't walk home by yourself," or whatnot, as if she's too dumb to know that, as if she's too dumb to know or suspect of potential attacker or whatnot. Um, so that's the issue, you know. We need to treat women and men equally. We need to break the divide, treat them with respect, respect women. Okay, you know. I think that men, a lot of guys, are toxic and they're just insecure about themselves. They're insecure about their masculinity. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to be men. We're just raising boys now. We're not raising real men anymore. You know, we're just raising a generation of boys who just expect things to magically appear and whatnot. And if somebody's getting the top, they need to bring him down for just to make themselves feel good. So yeah, we need to encourage women to join because we need women. We need more representation. We need equality. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and peace out.